Toria!
Toria!
I think they got your number.
Calling now!
I think they got your alias.
What? I don't know any of the songs you're singing, old woman!
Well, I guess my calling is a nursing home. How do you find your calling?
Toria, we're here to tell you how to find your calling.
Or not.
Because we think this is a personal matter, and we probably won't be able to tell you how to find your specific calling.
Only you know that. You and your third eye. That's a pimple.
That's it. Oh, this is a pimple.
This is a pimple.
But we can tell you how we found our quote-unquote calling.
Tell them, Ben, because I still haven't found mine. I can't even find my phone or my keys.
That is very true. I will tell you that when I was 6 years old, my mother used to place me on the lip of the fireplace in the living room, and she used to put the Mary Poppins record on the record player, and I would reenact the entire movie. I turned into a cow. Mary Poppins for all of my family.
You hoofed it.
My performance was utterly delightful. But I'll tell you, that's when I knew I had to do something with either storytelling, comedy, music, but being in front of a crowd.
I think probably the easiest way to kind of figure that out, which it's a different journey for everybody.
Yeah.
Don't stop. And that is, what makes you happy? What do you enjoy?
What lights your fire?
Matches. Like me, I don't have to perform. I mean, I love doing it, but I could work with animals. I could do a travel blog. I could bake. There's 10 million other things that I could do. I've got several different phone numbers for somebody to call me.
What you're saying is brilliant, because I don't believe in having just one calling. I am actually very good with numbers and budgeting, and I feel like I can lead people to success and debt-free lifestyles.
You're like the Moses of math.
This has been the year of what would I do if I wouldn't be a performer. And
What would you do?
I know this sounds crazy, but I really want to open a pizzeria.
I think you should do it.
And I know I've talked about it quite a bit, but that is a passion of mine. And maybe not be an actor anymore. Like you said, like it brings me a lot of joy and it's great for now.
Why do you have to just do one thing though?
What?
Like do both.
Passions that you used to have that you gave up because this is how you have to make money.
Passions.
Passions. Not just one.
There's not just one calling. You have several phone numbers. There's a whole phone book.
You can have your day job that you're passionate for. You can have a night job that you're passionate for. You can have a hobby that you're passionate for.
You don't even have to have a job.
You could just be hobbyists.
Your job is not your calling.
Maybe your job is not your calling. Is what
Maybe
you
so. My calling was when my grandmother
Yes.
used to drive around the block in my neighborhood when my sister and we had a curfew. I think it was like 4 p.m. And we never would come home then because she watched us while Mom was at work. And then she would get in her car and then she'd drive around the block and she'd be like, honk, 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 Linda, Lisa, come home. And Linda and I would like run through the backyards of everybody. We'd run home real quick and then she'd come back in the driveway and be like, Granny, we were here the whole time. Your calling is there the whole time.
When I was in college, I was a baker. And I would always bring specialty cookies to every event that I ever worked.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with making all of these specialty cookies.
And then people fell in love with you because you were handing out free sugar. It makes them happy.
Well, and you love baking.
And I love eating what I bake.
So you bake for other people so you don't eat what you bake.
And I love shopping because I have to go buy bigger clothes.
Yeah, it's very good.
Full circle.
That's
Like
your
my
waistline.
stomach.
You're not your job. You could be one of the lucky people in the world and you're actually working in the field of your passion.
Elon Musk.
Sending a car into outer space. He figured out his passion. He figured out how to make money from his passion.
He figured out how to make his hair plugs look natural.
Well, did he?
He did. I think he did.
Oh, did he?
I think he made a calling to the right people.
That's true. He's the president and he's a member.
He needs to talk to our president about hair stuff.
My point is 99% of this world is not working in the field of their passion.
Yeah, that is a way to make money, to discover your passions, or to keep going with your passion.
When I was a kid, my parents didn't have enough money to travel, but we had family in Israel. So we traveled to Israel every other year, and that was the only vacation I ever knew. But I became addicted to traveling.
Same thing here. I never really went out of the state of Texas. Very limited outside influences. My dad lived in Houston. He moved over to Saudi Arabia. We went over to Saudi Arabia for summer. It was the first time I'd ever been on an airplane. Freaky, but super exciting.
Yeah.
And then we get to Saudi Arabia. Whole different world. We had to cover our wrists. We had to cover our ankles. It was awesome. I really like the difference. I really like the culture.
Yeah, there is passion in discovering the difference of how other
that
cultures
was the shot,
live.
and I haven't stopped since. I go somewhere new every year out of the country, and it started with frickin' Saudi Arabia. And then we were stuck over there for Desert Storm, and then I'm like, I have a passion to live.
Try it all!
I try everything.
I do too.
Not even just with food, but with experiences. I think I might be a millennial. I'm not in the age group of a millennial, but I think my heart is.
Am I in the age group of a millennial?
I don't think so. I just want to try everything, because that's how you discover what it is that you're like, I really like this, I'm going to stick with it. Or it's going to stick with me because I've got indigestion.
I promise you, Toria, that I will go rock diving.
Do it all. You just got to try it. And if you die, problem solved.
I went to a Christmas party with Pat Sajak this year.
Is that right? Did y'all do cocaine?
I don't know why my nose.
Man, Pat Sajak sure knows how to party. I'll buy a valve for $7,000.